This is our second 15+15, and we're delighted to have Stacy with us. She's going to talk about the tools and resources for sustainable implementation. So delighted to hear more about your work, Stacy, and how you use those tools. We have about 15 minutes for the presentation. Enter questions and comments in the chat, and then we'll open it up and have more of a discussion for the last 15 minutes. So I'm going to turn it over to Stacy.
Perfect. Thank you. Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending my session. My name is 1515Riccio. I'm the project coordinator for the Arizona SPDIG. It's called the Arizona Professional Learning Series. And I'm happy to be here with you all today to share with you our website and our resources for sustainable implementation. So I hope that you walk away with some tools and resources, ideas that you could use or maybe steal for your projects in the future. I'm gonna do my 2 truths and a dream. I really loved that sharing this morning. This is my 21st year in education. I've been at the Department of Ed for 9 years in several different roles, but the SPDIG work is by far my favorite work. I love implementation science. I'm a native to Arizona, which is kind of like a rare thing in Arizona to be from Arizona. And my dream is that all students experience a safe and supportive educational career that empowers them to reach their full potential for their future. Today, I'm going to show you a quick video introducing our project, and then I'm going to show you the website. So I'm going to jump into that video. I'm going to share my screen with you all. Make sure I have my sound on. Can you see my video? Can I have thumbs up? Yes.
We can see your screen.
Great, Stacy.
Okay, perfect. Your sound.
What is the impact for schools participating in the Arizona Professional Learning Series?
I believe the biggest shift our school site has had from using the practices and the systems of AZ Professional Learning Series has been we've recognized we do good things. We have a lot in place, and our teachers feel more support now than they ever have before through the coaching aspect. They get that affirmation that we are doing well. Maybe our student scores at this point aren't reflecting huge amounts of growth, but we are all headed in the same direction. The shared strategies can now be seen in action across classrooms, across grade levels. We have vertical discussion and collaboration time as opposed to prior, we would just be isolated to each grade level, and whole school discussion was difficult at times and felt like everybody was headed in a different direction or felt like something else was more important. So focusing on the data that we receive through the learning series is really driven the direction of where we want to head and how we're going to get there. And it's kept us focused, but yet at the same time, it's not a new thing, and teachers don't feel overwhelmed. They feel like they're supported in what they are doing on a daily basis.
All right. So welcome to the Arizona Professional Learning Series. This is our homepage of our website. Can everybody see the website?
Yes, we can see. Perfect.
Thank you. We just relaunched our website because we had all new branding happen within our agency. So we're very excited that it's all together now, updated, rebranded. However, we're on a new marketing crusade, and I was telling Jennifer in an earlier session that it seems like the national SPDIG meetings are always so timely with where we're at with our work. So I've appreciated the discussions today and the learning and really thinking through how to reach your audience. So we're thinking about 3 different avenues to reach our our state, and really focusing on leadership, how we can reach leadership to engage in this work. Our first idea is to launch the website through a listserv to directors and leaders, and have a webinar just walking them through the tools and resources, and then talking to them about different technical assistance opportunities. The second option is to create little spin-off modules or webinars, 2-hour sessions on topics, starting with collaboration, because that is the heart of our work that we're doing with our teams. And I'm saying that because our last 2 marketing efforts, we went through a pandemic, and it's been hard to get people to engage in this level of professional learning, a multi-year cohort, bringing teams together, the time commitment over the length of the series. So how we can support them with where they're at in their work. And then our third option is to continue our cohorts to start up in the fall again, offering it to a handful of cohorts over 3 years. So with the pandemic, and then in Arizona, we had a big literacy legislative bill passed, where all K-5 teachers need to be have their literacy endorsement by 2028. So schools are really focused on how to get their teachers those credit hours. So taking on a bigger initiative wasn't a plan for them. So this is our website. These are all the links to the resources and tools. Our getting started guides are all about the systems that we support district leaders through and school site leaders through, and our coaches. So teams, action planning, coaching, the data guide, and sustainability. Our leadership guides, just getting some fine tunes to it. Each guide is set up very similarly in a format. So they look the same, the table of contents, a little overview of what sustainability is, about our project in general, our action planning template, what they're actually planning on, and then how they continuously implement the learning. So we always ask ourselves these 3 questions: where are we headed? Where are we now? How will we close the gap? Where are we headed is all the learning that we're providing you within the modules. Where you're at right now, we give you these data points to reflect on quarterly, to see where you're at with implementing your action plan. And then how you close the gap are those activities that you're doing through professional learning, either your PD times, parent events, your coach service delivery plan, either with your collaborative teams or individual teachers. And then they have a little leadership reflection survey to see where they're at with implementation. And then a plan to prioritize their needs using those 3 questions, and then a communication plan for sustainability. So that's just an example of one of our guides. So we work with our teams to go through the process, and then have the guides for them as a reference to fall back on for extra support. Okay, so all of our modules are set up very similarly. We have professional learning, parent meetings, our district level team, guides, videos, and then our data portal. I'm going to open all these tabs so you can see what is underneath them for tools and resources. Our videos, like the video I just showed you, they were all filmed on sites that we worked with throughout the project, and interviews we did with coaches, teachers, and administrators. So there's a handful of videos for each module that are 2 to 3 minutes in length. Nothing's over 3 minutes, as a tool and resource. And then under professional learning, we provide the PowerPoint template, a facilitator guide, a participant packet, and materials. Our facilitator guides are a tell-all of everything that you could possibly think about and need to do in order to facilitate the professional learning. So we meet with district leadership, school site leadership, and coaches. After they've reviewed the content, we put together print packages for them with everything and ship it to their school. And then we have a collaborative meeting with them to review any questions or thoughts or ideas that they have as they've internalized this information to present it to their staff. So it gives them an overview of the module, how to use the facilitator guide, materials. All of the materials have hyperlinks that bring them directly to that material. So there's our anchor poster.
So Stacy, you're using a train the trainers model, it sounds like.
We do not train them. We just offer them.
Oh,
this
all right.
website. Yeah.
You provide them materials and they.
Yeah, we're providing all
okay.
the materials and resources. So our activities are all laid out. We give them an agenda outline with timing, slides, activities, and materials. We put together the print package for them. We help them organize a professional learning plan. We give them a slide deck with examples of how to present the content. And then we just give them technical assistance in order to deliver it for their staff. And we meet with them before they deliver it. We meet with them after they deliver it to, here's our participant packet. So this is what the teachers will receive during the training. The slides to take notes on, and then all of the handouts. Very interactive. They're constantly interacting with each other during the professional learning. So we meet with them before to review materials. We meet with them after to help them plan action planning. And then we also meet with coaches on a regular basis to talk about their coaching plan aligned to action planning and how they're using data to make sure that they're implementing on the right track. So the data portal is a whole nother website that they get. So everything we did with our external evaluator is now on a data portal where we want our coaches to be very familiar with the guides to support data analysis, our action planning templates, and of course the coach service delivery plan aligned to those templates. The adult actions are all of these surveys that impact student outcomes. So we give them the documents to track their student outcomes. And then we teach them how to analyze the data. And they have access to all of their data. It's under a password. They can only see their school and their teacher responses. Nobody else can see them. And we look at that quarterly with them. Yeah. So that's the Arizona Professional Learning Series.
Show us again the modules and what the different topics are. One was one was an introduction, one was collaboration.
Let me go back through there. Yeah, module 1 is an introduction of the series where they align it with their current initiatives, their mission, their vision, and you get them all hyped up and geared and ready to go. Module 2 is about collaboration, how general education, special education come together to collaborate. And we talk about the infrastructure, the structure, and the process of collaboration. Module 3 is about the formative assessment dimensions, how they're using formative assessment as a planning tool to support the needs of all students. And we really hit home on the learning goal, learning intentions, and the criteria for success. Modules 4 and 5 are from the Institute of Educational Sciences, the literacy, adolescent literacy strategies. And then module 6 is on universal design and differentiation. So through these modules, we're progressively building them to collaboratively plan around using the formative assessment dimensions, using high leverage literacy practices to plan universal design and differentiation for all students together. So they're constantly planning and reflecting on their planning throughout the module series.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to open it up and ask if anyone has questions or comments. There are a few comments in the chat. This is very cool. That's very helpful. So people appreciate the the design of what you're doing and the model that you're sharing with us. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
I'm going to keep asking questions, but I really want to hear from the
Yeah.
participants, what their questions are. Remind me again, who does the training in the building at the building level?
Principals and site coaches do the trainings at the site level.
Great.
So I have a question. You were talking about coaching, like a coaching aspect to this. So do you have like a community of practice to support those facilitators, that sort of thing? Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, it's changed a little bit with the participation that we've had in the series, but the first cohort I had a cohort of coaches that I would meet with every quarter. So, and it landed after they presented their module, then I would meet with the coaches and we talk about what their role looks like in supporting the implementation of that module and what data collection looks like, and then how to use that data to continue chipping towards those focus areas on their action plan.
And then just to follow up on that, like how often, like after every module was presented, you had those kind of like debriefs
Yes.
with them? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
At a minimum, I meet with coaches quarterly to really show them how to use the data analysis tools and align their work to coaching to the specific needs of their action plan. Coaching is kind of tricky. I could do a whole series just on how to be a coach because a lot of schools don't have coaches. So this is like level 5.78. I mean, we keep adding to our projects based on the needs. So talking about what video coaching looks like is our next big development, because schools don't have coaches, and with teacher shortages, those coaches are being pulled into classrooms. So how can we use video coaching to support teacher reflection? And really a huge focus on reflection. How do we continuously reflect on our practices to meet the needs of all students?
I have to agree with you. I think the coaching is a whole presentation in and of itself. So we'll look
Yeah.
forward to that next year when we get
Yeah.
back together.
Thanks.
I was curious, is your an outcome sort of measure like as a test of knowledge or skills, or how do you know that teachers are walking away sort of learning what it is you're hoping that they learn?
Yeah. I get to see all of the surveys on that data portal. I get to access all the data for all the schools. And I do want to dig into numbers more. Our fidelity of implementation is done every year, so we can compare that from year to year. I think the most growth we see is I do go to their campuses twice a year. Initially, when we're kicking things off to introduce ourselves, have them show us their worlds, answer any questions about what they're about to jump into. And then once they've implemented modules 1 through 3, I visit campuses with coaches and do classroom walkthroughs. So that's where you really get to see what is taking place and what's kind of changing with the implementation, how teachers are reacting to the implementation. We thought about doing pre and post tests because we did that with our initial series, but we did not keep it when we did our final series. We really wanted it to be about them reflecting on their practices. How do they continue to reflect on their own practices?
Great. I'm inviting others to comment or share their, if they have resources that are similar or different, but on the same topic. I know Stacy's open to questions and
Yeah.
What are some of the elements that you see in this presentation as you think about the way that Arizona has gone about it? I'm thinking of the concrete examples. What are some of the things they've done that really would help with support implementation?
One of the things that I appreciate is the ease of use of as she was navigating through, like everything was very intuitive of where to get to. And then the concrete part for me was seeing some of the pieces in action through the videos. I think that's really important, and that's one of those parts where people will connect. They could be able to see themselves in the work themselves. So and you said that no video is like more than 3 minutes. So you've matched their attention span, right? Like when it comes to like this medium. So no, I mean, in all honesty,
It's
right?
true.
Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
so, I mean, I think that's like, I think you've caught like those pieces, like you show what the importance of the work is. You're meeting them where they are through like, nothing's more than like 2 clicks away on the website. So I think everything you've done seems very intentional.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Very intentional, very accessible, easy to understand, sort of laid out in a way that people can sort of understand what it is and see what's coming next. So easy to use, easy to understand too. Someone asked a question about the development of the modules and the training and the resources. How was that handled?
A very long process. I walked into this project a year into it. It had already started, and we rewrote it. We rewrote it like 4 times. I think their initial plan was to have 13 modules, and then it went down to 8, and then we landed on 6. And then we had to rebrand all of it too. And then we thought about, they wanted it to be like a click and play where the whole staff would watch a video together and learn through the module and then stop and do an activity. But we just totally switched all of that up to this format. So there was a lot of left turns that we took along our development path, and partnering with West Ed. And I have an amazing partner who I'm out in the field hearing everything that's happening and what the schools really need. And I bring back all that and we rewrite content, and she makes it look like this. It's amazing. Like our facilitator guides, like you just give her all the ideas, all the feedback that we got from the field. All the schools that we worked with and the videos that we used really helped shape the content into what it is. This really was written by Arizona for Arizona schools. So that, I think that's a really exciting aspect of our project.
Absolutely. Anne Marie asked, what motivates participants to engage and participate? Just curious, how are you assured of getting your data? So what motivates people to, I mean, there's different people. So what motivates like the coaches to get involved? What motivates the teachers to sign up for the training at the building level and then follow through?
Right. I think that's the hardest part of the work. And I tend to work, I have a facilitator out of Nevada that helps facilitate the content. She's a leadership expert. She's part of CCSSO, so she knows that formative assessment work really well. So she's a great motivator for leaders. And then I work with coaches on the project. And I can say like my coaches have so much energy and passion for this work. Most of them have become school administrators beyond this, district PD leaders in this work, where they are now supporting their entire district, scaling up this work. They have such a great passion to support their teachers. So I don't know how we would do it without coaches. I think that's like the biggest thing. We focus a lot on how to celebrate throughout the whole series, how they continue to celebrate their successes and share what's going on with teachers, with parents, with students along the way. So they love the data. They love having the data portal. They love seeing it like in real time. Like as soon as they enter it, they can see it. And then how to put that data into action. The alignment of all of it really helps them see how they're making an impact with their data, with their action planning, like having those systems in place makes sense. Having that teaming system, the AHA, that how much district needs to be involved to support leadership, for leadership to support teachers, for teachers to support students, like the whole cycle of teaming. It's a lot. When Jennifer was talking about how you market, there's so many audiences with this work. There's so many components with this work. How do you choose the right audience with the right components to get the hook so that people feel like, yes, this is what I need. I think that's like, I need to think more about that. I was thinking, what's the goal? What's the why? What's the data? What's the organization? What's the outcome from Anne's discussion this morning, so that we can help people see how much this can benefit them, you know.
Absolutely. And I think probably feeling some of those, it's like you're probably responding to some needs that people have, like they're wanting to do this better. They're wanting to know what are the outcomes. So you're providing it. But then when you provide it, it's very rewarding to sort of see like, oh, that made a difference. That's exactly, you know, so I think you have a lot of those features built in, but it would be interesting to stop and reflect as a team. And I love that you have a team of partners on sort of the components that really are making it engaging, or the messaging or whatever behind it. Small recommendation to maybe from in the chat, just sharing, maybe labeling the modules. So to call out sort of the theme of what each one is, you know what module 1 is and module 4 is, but to sort of label them collaboration. But it also,
that idea.
It also reinforces the messages, I think, for the participants every time they look at it. These are the pieces that go together to build the puzzle of effective practices. And then another question, is this HTML with embedded files, or is there Canvas and Blackboard running in the background? What's the technical side of this?
That's a great question. So that's what my Genius partner works with Case and our external evaluator to do the website. I'm pretty sure it's just all like hyperlinked. There's no Blackboard on it. It's its own website. And they're all just kind of hyperlinked back and forth. That's my guess.
She so really can get back to you on an answer with that one.
She's really magical at putting it all together.
Like, none of us know everything, so we need to build a team, right?
Yes,
because
we do.
Absolutely. Do people log in, or is it just available?
The website is open access. The data portal is login. So you would have to be working in the cohort or in one of our teams to get login access for that.
Great. We have just a minute or two left. So Stacey, I'm going to give it back to you to leave us with a final thought, a takeaway, if people want more information.
Thank you, everyone. If you have, I love suggestions. I think it's great to change those modules to actual titles. That's a great thought. Sometimes you're just so close to this work, you're not thinking about other things. So any thoughts, ideas, feedback about access, like how we can really spread the word, share the resources. I would love to hear. That's going to be my little thing on our other board. Like, how do you build capacity and momentum with your project? But thank you for your thoughts, ideas, and sharing and coming to my session today.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing. I bet Stacey's email is available, or maybe you can drop it in the chat if people want to reach out to you for further information. And I want to thank everyone for being here. Stacey, fabulous work, really interesting to see. We appreciate it. We'll look forward to next year when you talk about coaching and address other topics. All righty. You know, I think we're coming to the end of our day for formal presentations, but I believe there's drop-in sessions and rooms where people can mingle and talk with others about their work. So I encourage you to check out go back to the depot and then check out the opportunities that are available for networking and talking a little further with your colleagues. And then we'll see you again tomorrow.